Hi, everyone. My name is Annabelle Manda, and I'm the Senior Vice President at Tahaluf. Before going into the 24 FinTech wrap-up, it's very important to me to have the opportunity to say a big thank you to our partners, FSDP, the Central Bank of Saudi Arabia, the Capital Markets Authority, Insurance Authority, and a special thank you to our friends and our co-organizers at FinTech Saudi. Saudi Arabia is a major hub for the FinTech world. That has been shown across the last 3 days during the event itself. We have had over 350 speakers, with 252 of them flying in internationally from major hubs around the world, including Hong Kong, the United Kingdom, Singapore, and the USA. And what I can tell you firsthand is that the speakers are absolutely loving it. All of the international speakers that we've spoken with have been absolutely, completely excited about the opportunities in the fintech and the finance space here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. What we can tell is that the world is watching. We've had over 10,000 international registrations to be a part of this movement. This is the equivalent of 26 Boeing 777 aeroplanes if they were to all fly into Saudi Arabia today. 24 FinTech was created to be an event that produces serious outcomes. That has taken place before the event and also during the event days itself. During VentureScape, we had an attendance of over 500 international investors who came to Saudi Arabia to meet with, network with, and understand more about the local startup ecosystem. From this initiative, we have already seen investment opportunities take place. When we launch international brands into Saudi Arabia, we always benchmark against our international competitors. Looking at the launch edition of some of the biggest fintech brands in the entire world, what I can tell you today is that as 24 FinTech, we are the biggest debut fintech event in history. This has been measured by the speaker faculty, the investors, the exhibitors, and also the attendance. When I put together this presentation, we had benchmarked an attendance of 26,000. And what I can tell you today is that we're already tracking at 34,000 and counting, as we still have 2 hours to go. And finally, I would like to say a special thank you to the team at Tahaluf for working with me and with our partners on this incredible product. Thank you all very much.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, some truly incredible figures there. And FinTech's biggest debut event, absolutely brilliant. Congratulations. And that's because of all of you as well, all our attendees. What an incredible, incredible turnout we've had, my goodness. And by the way, what an incredible day we've had here, day 3 on the executive stage, with a key focus, as I mentioned, on insurance, within our theme, of course, of governance, risk and policy, and global interoperability. Now, this morning, we heard from the CEO of the Insurance Authority, who was here. He opened day 3 for us, and he spoke very much about building trust in digital identity. We also heard from the Global Director of Finance at the World Bank on some of the lessons learned and the way forward for fintech and financial stability. That was a very interesting session there as well. Now, we also had the CEO of Tabby. I don't know whether you missed that one, but he was here to give us an insight from going from a buy now, pay later app to an everything money app. And he also highlighted navigating competition, repositioning yourself in the eyes of the customer. Quite a challenge there, in fact, apparently as well. Now, we also had sessions on fintech's cross-industry evolution. We also had insurtech policy and reform, the rise of wealth tech, and so much more. And as we've heard, there really is, ladies and gentlemen, huge, huge momentum for fintechs in the kingdom right now. And I must say, this really is the right place to be right now. Right, ladies and gentlemen, also we're just setting up just for our final keynote of the afternoon. And after that, we are going to be jumping in to one of the most exciting, thrilling parts of 24 FinTech. And that is our FinTech Forge pitch competition. Put your hands up if you've heard about this competition already. Has anyone heard about this yet? Oh, brilliant. It's gaining a lot of attention, which is great to hear. If you haven't heard about it, 300 entries were made from founders with their fintech solutions, and they were whittled down to 24. Now, over on the FinTech Fusion stage, 24 of them pitched to an elite panel of judges. I saw some of the most incredible, innovative fintech technology that you can imagine. And they have been whittled down. It was announced at 11 o'clock last night, in fact. It wasn't done live on the stage. It was, I was sent all the winners last night. The last 12 from 24 were announced last night, and they are going to be pitching right here on the stage, ladies and gentlemen, with another elite panel of judges. So we have a very, very exciting part of the day, this next part of the day coming up. And guess what is at stake? We have 4 awards, ladies and gentlemen, worth $250,000 US. So it's going to be quite nerve-wracking, I'm sure. I mean, it was nerve-wracking over on the FinTech Fusion stage. So here, it's going to be a lot more intense and a lot more judgment, that's for sure. Right, let me just quickly go through some of the prizes that we have as well that are coming up. We have 4 prizes, as I mentioned, and it's going to be a very, very exciting competition. And some of the judges, actually, you know what? I'm going to keep this a secret for now, and it's going to be a bit of a surprise later on after our final speaker. But as mentioned, just to recap, over the past 3 days, we have had 350 speakers, over 200 sessions, hundreds and hundreds of brands here as well, which have been absolutely fantastic. And yes, as mentioned, FinTech's biggest debut event. What an incredible achievement, ladies and gentlemen. We really do want to make sure that we've managed to inspire and inform you properly as well. If there's anything that you would like to share, please do make sure that you do share across online on your social channels. You can use @24FinTech or our hashtag, which is also 24FinTech. Right, as a quick recap from yesterday, this is day 2. I'm going to show you a quick video. Take a look at this. Yes, a very exciting day was had. I'm sure we're going to have our recap day of day 3 coming up soon as well. Just to let you know as well, we have had 4 different stages over 24 FinTech. We've had, obviously, here, the Executive Summit, where we've discussed governance, risk, and policy, as well as global interoperability. We've had 24 trends who took a look at some of the trends shaping the world of finance. We also had the future stage, where the future of finance is being reimagined. And here, and at the FinTech Fusion, we discussed strategic investment and collaborative partnerships. Now, because we still have a full day left, if you haven't done so already, I would very much like to encourage you to download our app, please. That's under 24 FinTech. We have done very brief introductions to our speakers, so if you'd like to get to know our speakers a little bit later, you can do so through the app. You can also set up meetings. It's a very interactive tool. It has been designed especially for the event as well, so please do take advantage of that as well. Now, we've had book signings. There's been so much going on over the last 3 days, and it's quite sad that it's going to come to an end. But we are going to go out with a bang with our FinTech Forge competition. So, ladies and gentlemen, in just a couple of moments, I will be introducing our final keynote speaker to give a few words on the event in 2 minutes' time. Thank you so much. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, a moment to pause and absorb all the information that we've heard over the last 3 days, particularly this morning here on the executive stage. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my great honor to introduce our closing keynote speaker. Please give a very warm welcome to His Excellency, Dr. Khalid Al-Daha, the Vice Governor for Supervision and Technology at the Saudi Central Bank.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to first thank all of you, all of the participants of this inaugural event in the Kingdom. It was really a pleasure to see the energy, the insights, and the ideas that have been shared so openly among the attendees. Your contributions have really enriched this event into what we expect to be as an important platform to drive the Kingdom's fintech transformation agenda and facilitate the global partnership and collaboration. This flagship fintech event was intended as a platform for dialogue between policymakers and industry leaders, between regulators and aspiring attendees, entrants and experienced fintechs, local and international talent. Through this engagement, we endeavor to shape and strengthen the fintech ecosystem and innovation more broadly, both in the Kingdom and further ahead. It's amazing, really. It's amazing to think that it's already 3 days have passed. So over these 3 days, we've welcomed thousands of guests, as we've seen some of the numbers from all over the world. You know, a diverse group of organizations, including fintechs, leading financial institutions, and various service providers, regulators, government entities, and so on. So we've heard from, as we've heard, more than 300 speakers sharing valuable expertise and insights. It's truly remarkable and shows the dynamism and importance of Saudi Arabia as a global fintech hub. So I'm aware that you've heard many talks before, and I'd like to really be brief in sharing some of the summary. So a number of distinguished speakers and panelists have discussed the state of fintech in the Kingdom and globally, about the factors that are shaping this sector, about the opportunities that are available, the challenges to be overcome. We've heard from regulators, from policymakers, and experienced potential for sustainable and prudent growth in fintechs around the world. So we have debated the emerging trends and technologies that could disrupt financial services, the challenges that are associated with fast-paced growth. Most importantly, however, we saw the willingness to pave the way forward, to work collaboratively on solutions that will drive innovation. And this is what is critical. We need to see what is important to build and accelerate the growth of the fintech ecosystem. Of course, there's always more room to be done. At SAMA, we remain committed to supporting the sustainability and scalability of fintech and innovation in financial services. We will do so while upholding the mandate of ensuring monetary and financial stability, consumer protection, and confidence in the wider financial system. So the last 3 days have given us valuable insights into the vibrancy and fast growth of the Saudi fintech ecosystem and the wider international trends, along with tangible actions. From our perspectives as regulators, it's been encouraging to hear of the importance of regulators and central banks within the wider fintech ecosystem, and how the regulatory framework here in Saudi Arabia has supported this sector's development. While it is helpful to hear this positive feedback, its importance of ensuring the alignment between relevant government bodies was also highlighted, particularly when it comes to facilitating the entry of international players into the Saudi market. For us, this constructive feedback and insight will help us guide the ongoing development of our approach. We've also heard about the importance of continued efforts around capability and capacity building. This refers to both awareness campaigns aimed at the wider public and the skills development for the actors in the fintech. Now, it's important to look at the full potential for that fintech ecosystem. As many of you are aware, talent development is high on our agenda. Finally, we've heard that in many ways, some of the biggest disruptions and indeed opportunities from fintech are on the horizon. With the introduction of AI technologies and the dawning of what's called Banking 5.0, there will be a need for all ecosystem players, entrepreneurs, incumbents, regulators, to respond to all these changes. We realize that there is a lot of potential, and we need to make sure that we will do that while maintaining a robust and trusted and stable financial system. This transition would require renewed focus and evolving measures for cybersecurity, for AML, CFT, and fraud prevention. We strongly believe that this event is a success because of you all, the participants. I believe that in any increasing international and interconnected financial system, an effort to come together with open minds to discuss the opportunities, understand the challenges and potential is an important investment in the future of fintech. I would like to extend my gratitude to the Financial Sector Development Program, to the Capital Market Authority, and the Insurance Authority, who alongside the Saudi Central Bank have hosted this incredible event. I would like to thank Fintech Saudi and Tahaluf for co-organizing and executing this amazing feat. I hope that you've enjoyed our Saudi hospitality during your time here. We look forward to welcoming you again in the next edition of this event. I'd like to thank you all. I would also like to thank all the people that were behind all of this great, amazing event. You've seen some of them here. There are many that you have not seen. I would say there are hundreds of people that really worked very hard behind the scenes to make this a great success. Some of the people you've seen here, some of the people you've seen even when we come into the doors of this event, and many people are behind the stage. I'm sure you don't know how many people are there, but there are many people behind the stage that really deserve a great appreciation, and maybe we give them all a great hand. Thank you all so much, and again, enjoy the rest of the day today, and looking forward to welcoming you all in the next event. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Excellency, and what a great privilege it is to have you here with us to close this very important part of 24 FinTech here on the executive stage. Once again, we must say a huge thank you to, of course, all of our partners, the Financial Sector Development Program, the Saudi Central Bank, the Capital Markets Authority, and the Insurance Authority, and our co-organizers, Fintech Saudi and Tahaluf. Please put your hands together one more time. What an incredible, incredible event. Really, really impressive indeed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the event is not quite over yet. As I mentioned, coming up now, we have our FinTech Forge Grand Finale Pitch Competition. That is coming up in just a few moments. Please do stay with us. This is going to be a very, very exciting part of 24 FinTech. So see you in just a few moments. Thank you. This is all. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Now, as I've mentioned a couple of times now, taking place here is one of the most thrilling, gripping parts of 24 FinTech, the FinTech Forge Pitch Competition. Now, just as a quick introduction, if you joined us a little bit later on, my name is Laura Buckwell. I'm an international event MC and broadcast journalist, and it's a great pleasure to be your MC and your guide through this next gripping part of 24 FinTech. So, ladies and gentlemen, 24 FinTech, as we mentioned, is hosted by the Financial Sector Development Program, Saudi Central Bank, Capital Markets Authority, the Insurance Authority, and co-organized by FinTech Saudi and Tahaluf. So, to recap what happened at the FinTech Fusion stage yesterday, as I mentioned a little while ago, from a total of 300 startups that applied, we had the top 24 that pitched in a semi-final yesterday. That was on the FinTech Fusion stage. And today, we are left with just 12 for the final round of pitching to battle it out, as I mentioned, for 4 awards worth $250,000 US. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for our final 12 finalists. They have worked incredibly hard. You cannot imagine. Right, today's winners will be announced live right here on the stage at the end of the pitches. And if you were at the FinTech Fusion stage yesterday, you will remember that I talked about the 4 awards up for grabs. A quick reminder, we have the 24 FinTech Award for the most outstanding FinTech worth up to $100,000 US, celebrating the best and brightest FinTech startup here today. Next, we have the Innovation to Watch Award for the startup that has introduced groundbreaking ideas and transformative technologies worth $50,000 US, recognizing a startup that has set trends and that is driving FinTech into new and very exciting territories. The third award up for grabs this year is the Sprint Smart Award, the Sprint Start Award, for the startup who has achieved rapid traction and who has established significant market presence from the get-go, worth another $50,000. For this award, a reminder that the judges will be looking for a startup under 18 months old and that has raised less than $2 million US. And our final and 4th award, ladies and gentlemen, is the FinTech for Good Award for the startup that has made the most significant and positive impact on society, from financial inclusion to sustainable development. That is also worth another 50,000 US dollars. Right, ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know, our judges today are going to be rating each startup on the following criteria on a scale of 1 to 5. This is across 8 categories, by the way. We have potential, creativity, impact on people and society, functionality, innovation, financial health, team, and delivery. 8 critical categories there. So all of our startups today have been very busy preparing through a virtual boot camp, by the way, with a renowned pitching coach, David Beckett, who has helped over 2,500 startups and scale-ups raise over 500 million US dollars. They've been coaching with him throughout the week to get ready for this event, ladies and gentlemen. So get ready to see some truly inspiring ideas. A note to our startups, by the way. I think they're backstage, waiting in the wings there. A note to our startups, time is of the essence. We basically have 4 minutes a pitch and then a 2-minute Q&A from the judges. I'll be cutting you off if you do go over time. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to welcome our judges. Ladies and gentlemen, what an incredible panel lineup of judges we have for our final round for our competition here today. And I'm going to give you some introductions so we can get to know them a little better. First and foremost, we have Neza Al-Haidar, the CEO of Fintech Saudi, is here with us today. Neza definitely deserves a round of applause. Neza was involved in the development of the entrepreneurship ecosystem here in Saudi Arabia through positions in organizations such as Badir Incubator and Monshaat. So a very warm welcome to Neza. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have Dr. Mazen Al-Zaidi, General Partner of STV, who joins us. A warm welcome. Now, STV is the largest tech venture capital firm in the MENA region. He also serves as a member of the Investment and Finance Committee at Riyadh Valley Company. What a great pleasure to have you with us here today. Michelle Romano, Dragon on Dragon's Den, and serial entrepreneur, co-founder, and executive chairman at Clearco also joins us. Clearco, by the way, is the world's largest e-commerce investor. Michelle previously co-founded SnapSaves, acquired by American tech giant Groupon, and Buytopia.ca, acquired by Emerge. So a very warm welcome. What a great pleasure to have you here. Next, we have Emad Kashgari, the CEO of 1957 Ventures. A warm welcome. Well, Emad's impact on Saudi Arabia's entrepreneurial ecosystem really is profound. He has driven growth and innovation through leadership roles in both the Badir Tech Incubator and Accelerator Program and the Ministry of Communications and Information Technology. What a great honor to have you here. Thank you. And our final judge, ladies and gentlemen, we have Apurva Sharma, the managing partner of Stride Ventures. Apurva Sharma is a pioneering figure in venture debt financing. With over 11 years in the lending ecosystem, she oversees critical functions like fundraising, investor relations, and deal sourcing. A very warm welcome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a fine group of judges we have, and I think they are going to be pretty tough with our 12 startups, I'm sure, as we whittle them down into that final 4. Welcome to our judges. Right, so you are now about to see the final 12 top visionaries share their story and their vision to our judges in an attempt to prove why their startup should be the next big thing in fintech. That's enough from me. Time now to see innovation in full force as we welcome our first startup pitch. Right, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned, we are about to welcome our first startup, Behavior Quant, a startup that uses behavioral science and AI to provide predictive insights, reduce investment risks, and help advisors personalize services. Please give a very warm welcome to our first pitch of the day. It's Behavior Quant.
Hello. So, Behavior Quant disrupts the investment industry with novel data about people. My name is Thomas, and for many years I was a university professor, and in my research at Harvard and MIT, I worked with dozens of Wall Street institutions, from Merrill Lynch to Goldman Sachs. And all these players have 2 questions. First, they ask, what do my customers really want? Each single client. And second, they ask, why is performance of asset managers in the same asset class so different when everybody has the same information? So these questions point to a core problem of the entire financial industry. Systematic and measurable data about people and teams making investment decisions is missing, and that has costly consequences. So 7% of bank customers, 1 person in each row, leave their bank every year. Why? They feel the bank doesn't understand their personal values and needs. Asset managers lose up to 400 basis points of performance every year based on the wrong behavioral traits. And for allocators, the behavioral risks of fund managers can cause huge losses. Remember Bernie Madoff? So for the first time in the industry, Behavior Quant solves this problem with cutting-edge behavioral science and machine learning. As a bank or advisor, we help you personalize your relationship with every single client. And advisors keep their clients and gain 3 times more new assets from their clients. As an asset manager, we increase the performance of your team measurably. And as a fund allocator, we help you select the right manager. How can Behavior Quant do this? Our data and predictions are not based on past returns, which everybody knows can be random. We measure how people make decisions. Now, that is something that predicts future performance. Our go-to-market strategy is a B2B license model. We are building a network of selling partners, and in 2025 want to explore the Saudi market. In addition to this, we built a self-service platform so customers can simply use our website and pay with their credit card to purchase our solutions. Who needs our solutions? Think of wherever investment decisions are made. Think of all the banks, advisors, allocators, actively managed funds in the world. None of our competitors offer something as comprehensive as Behavior Quant, and because of our behavioral expertise, our solutions cannot be copied by others. We are a male-female founder team with a strong academic background. We've worked with world-leading financial institutions, and we have years of hands-on experience developing fintech in Silicon Valley. We are supported by a team of highly experienced professionals. So where are we today? We have 3 market-ready product solutions. We were found by our first customers on both sides of the Atlantic, and we are proud of the recognition that we have received. What we offer is an investment opportunity of 1.2 million euro. Our goal is to accelerate our market entry, and for this we are looking for investors to disrupt the investment world with behavioral data. So please come talk to us. Thank you.
A fantastic pitch there to start us off. Absolutely brilliant. As I mentioned, we have 4 minutes on the clock, and then we have 2 minutes Q&A with our judges. We're very strict on time. Over to our judges for our 2-minute Q&A.
Thank you. Why would you go and do your distribution through kind of cloud-based SaaS and selling partners versus going directly to the wealth managers and asset managers yourself?
So actually we are doing both, because of course we have a network of high-level contacts based on our contacts in Silicon Valley, in Boston, where I studied. So we are doing both, really. We're not excluding any sales channel, but I mentioned the important one.
How many clients do you serve today?
So we have about 10 high-ranking clients. We're in contact with some of the leading banks, but as you know, their decision processes are very slow. So in addition to this, we see some very fast traction about independent advisors who take decisions independently for them. We're in contact with some of the leading asset managers, and we get a lot of interest from allocators who see it as a prime tool to add to the data they have in making the decisions about which funds to invest in.
And how is the SaaS cloud solution compatible with banks? Does some banks request to be installed on-prem? Or?
Yes. So it's a great solution to get banks started with, because it's not complicated. There's no need to integrate it into their existing solutions. But of course, these large institutions that we work with, they all talk about a potential integration, which of course is time consuming and which we follow up with in a medium term.
Thank you.
Have you done any study which demonstrates that the algorithm that you've built actually works?
Of course, as an academic, as a professor, I'm very interested in empirical proof. We checked it, for example, with BQ Advisory, our solution for advisors. We know that banks have no clue about who will leave them, churn rate. So their prediction accuracy is about 50%. At the end of the year, they receive a letter from their customer. I'm with Morgan Stanley already, please transfer my money.
Sadly,
we were able to improve the prediction rate from 50% to over 90%.
Sadly, we are going to have to cut you off. 2 minutes is up. We have to be very strict with time. That was a really excellent pitch. Some brilliant questions as well.
Thanks very much for
the
questions.
Put your hands together for Behavior Quant.
Thank you.
A brilliant way to kick-start the afternoon. Right, ladies and gentlemen, Saudi real estate technology company Ajar provides a rent now, pay later service. And they are also here with us today for this final pitch round. Please put your hands together for Ajar.
This year, rental payments in Saudi are expected to exceed $50 billion. And more than 70% of those payments will be made on an annual or biannual basis.
Yes, there you are.
Imagine moving to Riyadh, looking for an apartment, then finding out you need to pay an entire year's rent up front, while only earning a monthly salary. It is incredibly challenging. And those who find flexible payment options end up paying up to a 30% premium. Most landlords don't offer monthly rent payments. They have no way to screen a tenant, no easy way to collect on a monthly basis, and many just prefer to get that cash up front. Enter Ajar, a rent now pay later solution that allows tenants to convert their annual rent to 12 monthly payments. With Ajar's solution, tenants can pay their rent monthly while still allowing landlords to receive a full year's rent up front. Everybody wins. After a tenant finds a property they like, they apply, are screened, and provided the price through our proprietary credit engine. We rent the unit on their behalf and sublease it to them with an average 15% fee. That 15% translates to a 43% levered IRR, and after optimizing for some of our operational processes next year, we aim to get to over 90%. In just a year since launching, and with a marketing spend of just over $30,000, we've received over $30 million of demand for our service, have an active pipeline of over $10 million over the next 12 months, and have already funded more than $2 million in residential rentals. We've also activated our distribution channels through partnerships with brokers and property managers, giving us direct access to over 5,000 units worth more than $50 million yearly. We're in 16 cities today across 7 regions and have raised over $50 million in capital from a syndicate of investors that includes 2 local banks, 2 regional VC funds, and 2 international institutional investors. Now, this isn't a real estate play. This is a credit play. It's all about understanding credit risk, being able to price that risk, and keeping the cost of capital as low as possible. And our team understands this best. With a track record of managing billions in transactions across vast portfolios, we are well equipped to manage risk in the context of today's fast-changing financial and real estate landscape. Beyond that, we've been friends for over 20 years, went to the same school, grew up together, and even worked together in a professional capacity before. Rent Now Pay Later is only our first solution, as we aim to become Saudi's next real estate super app, serving the tenant across each touch point of their journey, from payments facilitation today, to furniture, property management, and even a packing and moving service tomorrow. So join us on our journey to democratize access to real estate.
A very impressive pitch. Let's hand this over to the judges. And yes, what do we think about Saudi's next real estate super app? What questions do we have?
Yes. So what data points do you take when you underwrite a potential tenant? And you've been in the market. I'm curious, do you have any defaults?
So we like to look at that from a cohort analysis perspective. Our first cohort, we did no underwriting, 10% delinquency. We looked at that data, built a feedback loop, built it to the next cohort, dropped to 2%. Our third cohort, so far, it's 0%. And it's building blocks. So we look at 20 data points today. We're planning to go live with open banking next year to just enhance our underwriting capabilities.
Explain to me, it was a great pitch, by the way. Explain to me how you juice your IRR from the 43%, which is what you're getting on the 15%, to almost 100%.
So
what other services is in there?
So that's purely playing off one data point. The 43% IRR assumes a 2% default ratio. If we drop it to 1.5, it jumps to 93%.
Understood.
There are other buy now, pay later competitors in the market, and they have raised big rounds of funds, and they're backed up by global banks as well. What's your competitive advantage if they turned into this segment?
Focus. They're doing a lot of things. Tabi just acquired Toyek, so they're going into the cards business. Tamara just got a financing license. So our competitive advantage is focus on doing one thing and doing it very, very, very well.
One final question.
Your source of customer acquisition will always be through the real estate developers or directly to the consumers?
Both. So today, about 70 to 80% are direct to consumer. We've just activated our distribution channels, so some inflow of customers is coming through there, but the goal is to have a balanced mix between both.
So touching on following up on Iman's questions, defensibility. How about new players coming in? What's so unique about what you guys are doing?
So,
not from current competitors, but upcoming ones.
So we like to think of this as more of a service business. So what's the difference between two insurance companies? What's the difference between two banks or two financing companies or even Tabir Tamara? We'd like to think we provide a superior customer experience, and down the line, as we include more services, to lock the customer in and build a moat around those services.
Great questions. We are going to have to stop there. I do apologize, but that was a very strong pitch. Thank you so much. Let's hear it for Ajari. The competition is heating up, ladies and gentlemen. Right. Zavit is up next, a health app that's designed by scientists to reduce stress when dealing with money. Let's now put our hands together to welcome them to the stage. Welcome, Zavit.
I want to tell you a story about Ali. Ali grew up in a cash-poor house. His father had talked about money worries on a daily basis. This gave Ali great motivation to go out and earn money at a young age. Ali became successful very quickly and grew great confidence in his abilities to protect himself with money. Then later in life, Ali faced a personal tragedy. And it was going through this personal tragedy that he realized the money he was spending and the money he had made no difference to his health and happiness. Then one day, Ali sat down to reflect on the things that truly brought him happiness and started to use more of his money on sport and music, the two things that made him feel the happiest. This helped him find his way back, and very, very quickly, he felt a dramatic shift in his health and happiness. Ali is actually me, and this is why I created Zavit. I wanted to help people like my father to focus less on what they have and more on how they're using what they have. Globally, over half of the adult population feel stress with their finances. How many of you here feel stress with your finances? I'm sure that it's many of you. Something is missing in our financial system, and we are here to fix that. With our world-class science team, overseen by Professor Jeff Bird, lead neuroscience professor from the Oxford University, we've built an app that is proven to reduce money stress in just 2 weeks by 15%. The Zavit app and our groundbreaking happiness per pound metric, they help people take back control using behavioral science, take back control of their money, and change damaging money habits that cause stress. Our Money Moods feature captures the emotional impact of each purchase on an individual's mental health, and our AI-powered tips, they provide behavioral nudges that help people make decisions with their money. The next steps with the product are to extend our APIs into banking apps and to integrate with wearables data to create an unprecedented link between financial data and health data. The business model is B2B2C, and we distribute via banks, insurance companies, the debt sector, and health providers using a subscription model. Up until now, we've been focused on revenue-generating efficacy trials. Science is at the heart of what we do. And we have proven, through the trials that we did, statistical significant improvements, 38% improvement in how people felt about their money, a 25% improvement in happiness per pound, and a 15% reduction in the stress that they feel. Today, we're seeking banking partners and insurance partners, and we're raising investment. Up until now, we have raised $2 million, and we are currently raising between 4 and 7 million. We have a forecasted user base of 4 million by 2027 and a revenue of 71.4 million. We have an extremely experienced team, all of whom have built startups before, fintech and health tech. I myself was on the leadership team of global fintech, Calastone, that exited in 2020. Saudi Arabia, you have shown me such kindness in welcoming me here. Together, let's take Zavit to the world.
Another very strong pitch. We have now 2 minutes of Q&A. What do we think about reducing stress when dealing with money? What are your questions?
What's the revenue model of your app?
A subscription model, so it's B2B. The banks and the insurance covers pays an annual subscription model per individual.
And what do they pay per user?
It's £20 per user per year, but it's volume discounting. The retail bank that we did a trial with, they have 20 million customers, so the cost is much lower. Obviously, the more people, the higher the user base.
And do you have any banks signed up so far?
So we've done the hard part, we've done the trials, and they take a long time. So we're in a conversation with there's 5 major UK retail banks. We're in that stage with 2 of those.
Thank you. So I'm curious to know, because you made a claim that in 2 weeks' time you've witnessed an improvement in their mental health or how they feel about money. How you were able to measure that?
We did a pre-survey before people used the app. We have in-app measurements where we're measuring stuff right from the start all the way through. Every day we take measurements within the app, and then we do a post-survey that matches the first survey, asking them the same questions to then see what the improvement is.
Okay, one last question. So how do you safeguard your business model? I think it could be replicated by Mint or whatever competitor to do similar feature, if I may say, in their business.
Sorry, what's the question again?
It's like a personal finance management app. They might integrate such a thing in their app. How do you safeguard your business model?
So two things. Obviously, being first to market, but also the algorithm that we have behind our happiness per pound, which is we have a world-class science team behind that. So I think that's quite hard for people to come in.
Sadly, we have run out of time. It's hit 0 there. Another brilliant pitch. I really hope you've impressed our judges. There's some great questions there. Thank you so much. Let's hear it one more time for Zavit. Very nicely done indeed. Thank you so much. Right, ladies and gentlemen, Interface's GreenPay is our next startup pitch, connecting underserved African communities to affordable solar energy. Please put your hands together for Interface.
Thank you. So, over the last decade, we've all championed financial inclusion for the next billion users. But what has that meant for the people that became included? Was it simply about opening bank accounts and getting them to make transfers, or more about social mobility and economic inclusion? Well, it was the latter case, at least in Nigeria, where the entire power generation capacity of Nigeria is less than the consumption of the 2 grand mosques. With a population of 200 million people and over 50 million small businesses that want to go online, stay connected, collect digital payments, and use digital tools, it is simply impossible to do that. Because the cost of fossil alternatives is way too high to run, and the outright cost of going for renewables is way too high for them to go on board. That has left over 50 million small businesses in Nigeria alone spending $14 billion annually on fossil alternatives and still being in the dark. And that's where we come in. At Interface, we enable these small businesses connect to reliable solar providers and affordable solar financiers that give them ability to pay for their solar over time and access to credit in terms of carbon offset. And what makes us the centerpiece of this? It's how we are insanely driven by data. No one in the market has the level of granular market intelligence we have on those markets, from customer income patterns, customer payment plans, and also priority products and preference for the customers, like Sharia compliance. We have two types of partners we work with. The distributors will move their products into these markets through the inroads, and then channel partners that have already established network of agents like the telcos and the banks in these communities that will ride on their existing networks to deliver services to these people. And our business model is simple. We charge 5% on every solar financial deal that goes through us. So far, we've powered over 30,000 homes and businesses and saved over 50,000 metric tons of carbon emission, growing by over 2,000% over the last year, and unlocking $5 million in solar financing for small businesses and homes. And our ask here is simple. The first place, the $100,000 price, which will enable us to bring on board about 1,000 agents at about $100 per agent. We'll train, equip, and onboard them. They will, in return, have a target of making 2 sales per week, 100 per year, and powering 100,000 homes and businesses over the next year. And what do we need to do this? We need expertise in data, in field operations, and in technology platforms. And our perfect team, myself and my partners, are in perfect position to push this through. Beyond energy financing, which we see as an anchor and as a starting place, we see ourselves expanding to other verticals like FMCG, development and aid coordination across Nigeria and other similar African markets with similar challenges. So join us, let's do this together. Thank you.
Are you also coordinating with the manufacturers of the solar panels? You're not monetizing that side, it's just the commission on the solar financing?
So our insights on the data goes all the way down to the manufacturers. So for example, if you look at a small business that does that sells ice cream, their energy need is different, even if they are looking at refrigeration, from small pharmaceuticals that do vaccine storage or drug storage. So, but that insight we get from the market, we transfer it all the way down to the distributors, and the distributors take it all the way up to the OEMs to craft better products and better pricing plans for the customers.
So you're not monetizing on these OEMs or solar manufacturers, the panel manufacturers?
Well, at this point, our interaction is with the distributors. It's a win-win for us. They make more sales, we make more commission on our transactions. So the better product the manufacturers create, the better market we have for our products, and the better expansion we have all through.
And just one related question, what kind of data, I mean, why are people sharing data before they've got the solar panel in the first place?
So we go up to them and we tell them the benefit they get from working with us. Over the last year, the subsidy was removed in Nigeria. So the energy crisis has really deepened. We don't have any other choice. Imagine me going to a business and telling you that for the cost of 1 liter of petrol, you can power your business for an entire week. It's a no-brainer. All you need to do is tell me how much you make, how much you spend, and how best we can power you. And give me details of yourself and your business, and we get you access to financing. First, through offsets, because there is a $750 million fund the Nigerian government is giving for people that are transitioning. And then also through credit. You don't have to pay outrightly.
Sadly, we have run out of time. The 2 minutes is up. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Interface.
Great.
Yet another excellent pitch there. Well done indeed. Right. Our next startup pitch, ladies and gentlemen, is from Abwab, a company that automates underwriting for financial institutions, enhancing efficiency, accuracy, speed with AI-powered solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Abwab.
Assalamu alaikum, good evening everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Bara Koshak and I'm here to present Abwab AI. If you're a micro small business owner in Saudi, it's almost impossible for you to access capital. And it's not because there's a lack of capital in the market. Actually, there's abundance of capital, but the capital that we have is inefficient and there's a lack of credit insights that makes the decision easy. So we at Abwab are offering an underwriting automation technology that solves that problem for lenders, banks, financial institutions, and fintechs. The issue, if we drill down into it, is that SME financing is expensive, risky, and slow for two main reasons. One is the lack of credit data, and second, the operational inefficiency, where the underwriting process is costing approximately $15,000 to $25,000 to underwrite, which is insanely high. And the way we are trying to solve that is by offering an AI credit signal that produces a credit signal that is alternative to the current credit signals in the market. And second, we're automating the whole journey of the underwriting to slash the cost of lending by 70% and the time of processing the loan by 90%. The team that we've built here is an expert and financial expertise with 30 million customers and underwriting depth of a portfolio of 30 billion US dollars. Myself, I'm a third-time founder, ex-Revolut. Our head of machine learning is ex-NVIDIA, Entropy, and Ubisoft. Who cares? Why now? For four main reasons. One, the financing gap is actually huge. The government is mandating financing SMEs. The government is actually subsidizing the risk of financing SMEs, and the digital infrastructure is there today. If we look closer to the data, although we have doubled SME financing over the last 4 years in Saudi, 70% of that is actually targeting medium enterprises, while in the market, 70% is actually micro and small. And that's, again, it's due to the lack of credit data and due to the operational inefficiency in the market. If we take a closer look to the current sources of data, you have financial statement, bank statements, credit bureau, and sales data. All of these are either incomprehensive, delayed, or unaudited, and this is where we come and produce an AI business pulse that does two things: produces a comprehensive cash flow P&L view of the business, and that is instant, real-time, and on the spot. This will enable instant credit decision, wiser loan terms, early alerts and warnings, and better lending products for SMEs in the market. The way we service our clients, financial institutions, banks, and fintechs, and NBFIs is by first connecting them to leads in the market using our network of embedded financing service providers. Second, we automate the origination of that loan using conversational AI to complete the application itself of submitting that loan request. And third is qualifying that lead by doing instant eligibility check and risk assessment of the SME. And third, do a thorough and detailed credit analysis to automate that complete underwriting process. The market size is approximately to be a total addressable market of 800 billion US dollars with a revenue potential of 1 trillion in Saudi only. And if we achieve our targets of the financial sector development program by 2030, that's a quadruple of the market size as of today. And if we target MENA, then that's a 25x market size. So we're starting with Saudi and we're shooting for the moon. Join us in our journey of enabling SMEs to access capital. Thank you.
Over to our judges.
Yeah, so Bara, when an investor tells you come to our office and visit us, you just visit them. So just put that on aside. So could you just explain to me where are you today? What stage have you guys reached today, and what are you doing?
Absolutely. So we are offering our qualification services for one of the banks in Saudi. I cannot disclose who yet. However, we are also live with a couple of fintechs, and I'm happy to share the details with you. Our product is ready. We've been building it for the last 2 years, and we're a team of 18 people, and we're ready to go.
Thank you.
And your pricing is essentially a certain take rate on the loans disbursed?
It depends on the service. If we offer leads, then that's, yes, a specific transaction fee out of the loan amount. If we process eligibility or qualification checks, or we do the underwriting, then that's a SaaS subscription model based on the number of inquiries that we process on an annual basis.
And which one you are right now?
We are running, we're running the subscription annual based on inquiries in the market today.
And this is just for conventional small business loans. This isn't for point of sale financing or anything else like that, right?
No, spot on. Like the technology that we offer is automating that credit analysis regardless of the type of financial product that you offer. We have a list of 150 different metrics. You as a lender say, I want to look at this, this, and that, and you configure the weights according to your credit policy or your lending product, and you get that analysis to you instantly generated.
Great.
One last question, we have time.
Sure. So basically, underwriting is a big issue when it comes to banks. So how's the appetite when it comes to banks? Because usually they rely on kafala doing the underwriting. So how would you overcome that?
No, I agree. It's challenging to change how banks operate, especially traditional banks. However, I think the way we enter with large financial institutions such as banks is by getting them the leads that are qualified according to their criteria. At first, they get comfortable with our ability to do the risk analysis and the qualification, and then they start asking for, you know what, I'm already getting 200 leads from the marketing campaign that I'm doing. What about we ship it to Abwab for them to do the risk analysis? And then that's part of like the change management that we try to introduce in financial institutions.
Sadly, I'm going to have to cut you off there. We have reached our time limit. A very promising pitch, that one. Let's hear it for Abwab.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, do not underestimate how hard this is, by the way. We've got quite a tough crowd here. Lots of very difficult questions. So everyone has done so brilliantly so far. Right, ladies and gentlemen, our next startup is Kestrel, a service that helps banks better serve Muslim customers through innovative AI solutions that align with their beliefs. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the stage, Kestrel.
Testing, testing. Okay. Hello and assalamu alaikum. My name is Reable Siddiqui and I'm the founder and the CEO of Kestrel. We're a service that helps banks who would like to better serve Muslim communities around the world. Now, Kestrel was born because I was fed up. I was fed up of feeling like I was doing something wrong every time I had to use one of these. And it is a problem shared by over 5 million people in the UK and 25 million people around the Western world who, like me, identify as being Muslim. The problem for a Muslim, of course, is that interest is entirely forbidden, which makes doing something as simple as using a credit card or opening a savings account or taking out a mortgage tantamount to committing a major sin. Now, of course, Islamic banks do exist in the West, and here are a few of the well-known names there. However, take-up of these products is incredibly low because they are notorious for having poor customer service, terrible user experiences, and high fees. And it was out of this frustration that I faced and my community faced that Kestrel was born. Kestrel's mission is to help people to grow their wealth without compromise, whether it's on their beliefs, on user experience, or on price. Now, Kestrel began back in 2021. We launched a consumer app. Now, this allowed people to plug in whatever bank account they were using directly into our application. We would then analyze their transactions, pulling in their income, their outgoings, and categorize everything, using this to create a personal financial plan just for them. We start out by figuring out how much they can and should be saving, but with a budget, putting it into action with an auto savings tool, helping them to define goals and then saving for them automatically every month or week, or rounding up their spare change. Crucially, we would link them with Sharia-compliant savings and investment products, which before this had not been digitized. We created faith-aligned features like an auto zakat calculator, taking something that was a very onerous and difficult process people did usually once in Ramadan, and fixing it with the touch of a button, as well as a Sharia stock and fund screener. We launched this and we saw a huge uptake in the UK. And then something very interesting happened. Bank Islam, Malaysia's largest Islamic bank, reached out and said they liked what we were doing. Could we white label this service and give it to them so they could go live with a new digital bank with features from day one? So naturally, we said yes, and this transformed our company. No longer were we just the consumer-focused Muslim money app in the UK. We were now a service for any bank that wanted to better serve underserved communities. Now, this exploded our total addressable market. No longer were we just looking at the 25 million in the West with our consumer app, but there are 500 or so Islamic banks who could make use of this product, as well as more banks who just have Muslim customers. Now, we've helped 1.3 million people and counting with our solution through API integrations with the likes of Bank Islam, who used us, and we created alternative credit scores for gig economy workers, which they were really struggling with over there. Emirates Islamic Bank in the UAE, who wanted faith-aligned features, as well as Maybank in the UK to help them distribute their products to a digitally wanting audience. And now we've just signed 2 more banks as well. Thankfully, I haven't had to do this on my own. My own skills as a management consultant and MBA are backed up by my co-founding team, who specialize in Islamic banking, financial services in the UK, tech, and data science. Since launching in 2021, we've come some way. 30,000 active users on the consumer app, grown organically, 3 major B2B clients and 2 POVs we hope to convert this year, 500,000 in annual recurring revenue, we're hoping to hit 1 million soon, and 30 more banks who have actually reached out to us in our pipeline, and we're in the process of demoing, pitching, and signing now. But it doesn't stop there. It's our ambition to one day power every Islamic bank in the world to ensure that no one ever again has to choose between their faith and finances. Thank you.
Perfectly within time, literally a second to go. Over to our judges. What else do we need to know?
So can you explain a little bit how do you convert like conventional banking into like Islamic products or Sharia compliant?
Yeah, so often we work with banks who do have an Islamic product in some way, but they have trouble reaching out to communities or creating an Islamic window of some sort in their app. Like with Emirates Islamic Bank, their Islamic app looked very similar to Emirates MBD. So they wanted something to differentiate. So we embedded Zakat calculation, Sharia screening facilities for investment. And also, crucially, the real power of this is credit scoring. So a lot of countries, especially here in Saudi, struggle to categorize data. When they're spending, okay, it's like, is it for shopping or eating out? Is it essentials or non-essentials? That's where our real power lies and the real value is for the banks. So we can create alternative credit scores for them from that.
Any more questions? Maybe you've told them everything that they need to know in detail. Any further questions? No, I think they've got everything. That's brilliant.
Have you raised any money, and how far away are you from profitability?
We raised 1.5 million in 2 rounds over the last 2 years. We hit profitability early last year, but now we're thinking of raising again so that we can go back into growth stage. So that's what we want to do in Q1 next year.
Since we have time, so in terms of your monetization strategy, it'll be through the financial institutions as a subscription fee for...
Exactly, yes. So the banks pay us a subscription for access to the APIs, or if we embed it within their on premises, as well as we're going to introduce subscriptions on our consumer app. Right now we take a commission for the products which are distributed, but we want to experiment with subscriptions.
And how much do they pay? The bank pays per customer?
It varies country by country. In Malaysia, it tends to be, for a bank with about 500,000 customers, it amounts to around £25,000 a month. In Pakistan, it's lower. In UAE, it's higher than that.
Sadly, that is a wrap on the questions. Thank you so much. A very, very strong pitch there from Kestrel. Well done. Very, very nicely done indeed. Right, ladies and gentlemen, next up we have Wacky, a financial buddy empowering families and children with financial awareness, from navigating schools and the mall to online gaming sectors. Please put your hands together for Wacky.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Halal Qasim, and today I'm here representing Wacky. So imagine waking up in the morning and dropping off your kids at school, and then when you reach the school, you realize you don't have any change or cash to give your kids for allowance. This is the story of our friend here, Sarah. She reached school, and then they realized they really don't have cash to buy at the school canteen. So, okay, we know the pain points. We know that cash payments are hassle and are inefficient. And we know that us as adults, we really don't have cash on our hands. On the other hand, for merchants or canteens, also dealing with cash as a business is a problem. So here's where Wacky steps in. We thought, okay, let's provide cards to allow the students to buy at the school canteen using cards. But it wasn't quite the complete solution. Then we thought, okay, let's be smart and provide wristbands. You know, it's going to be catchy, and the students will have it on their hands, as simple as that. But again, it wasn't as efficient because kids lose those, wristbands and cards. So we introduced QR codes, which kind of solved the issue, but still it did not give us the full satisfaction that we're looking for. So finally, we provide you the solution of face recognition. Wacky provides payment solutions, allowing students to buy at the school canteen using face recognition and QR code. So this is from the end user side. From the canteen or the merchant side, we provide a full POS system, allowing them to accept these digital tokens. So Wacky tries to position themselves uniquely by providing all the services that allows the student to start their financial journey with us, starting from the school canteen and expanding further to outside the scope of the school. So our journey started in 2022, right after the pandemic. We started with one school as a pilot, and then, as we said, we tried with the cards and the wristbands. Then in 2023, we tried with the face recognition. It really helped us grow immensely in the market. And finally, now in 2024, we're trying to expand outside the scope of the school. So far, we have around 71 merchants and 40,000 students in all major areas of Saudi Arabia, Jeddah, Riyadh, Eastern region. The team is made up of around 20 members. We're based from Jeddah, 50% Gen Z and 33% females. The founding team is made up of finance and technology backgrounds. We have different partnerships with the Ministry of Education, banks, MCIT Code, and the rest of our partners. And that was the story of Wacky. Thank you so much.
Do you need to sell every school on the ability to accept these payments?
Yes, so it's B2B2C. So we sell the school, or let's say the canteen operator, the system. They set it up in the school, and then the students will be registered in that school or in that canteen.
Is there an easier way to do that you can scale fast?
So the reason we actually do that is to get easier customer acquisition. So going directly to the school and getting all the students in that school, and we try to target big elite schools to gain the largest number of students at like one point.
And the school or the canteen, how can I get the service? Is there something that I can buy when it comes to the system, the hardware?
Yeah, so our system is a soft solution. It works on any Android device that has NFC. So as a canteen, if they have an Android device, they can immediately start the service tomorrow. If they want devices, yes, we do provide devices such as self-service kiosks, but that depends on the requirement or the preference of the school as well as the canteen.
So actually, I didn't get your business model. Are you like a facial recognition point-of-sale solution? Or are you like a facial recognition closed-loop wallet?
Yes, it's a closed-loop wallet that uses face recognition as a digital token for children.
So the parents has access to the wallet and they top up their wallet, and whenever the kids take from the canteen, they deduct from that wallet based on the face recognition?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And how do you monetize? Where have you reached in your revenue growth?
Yeah, so our business model is based on transaction fees. So we, set specific fees for each canteen, depending on the number of students and depending on the canteens that are in the school.
Sadly, we are going to have to cut it off there with just a second to go. Fantastic pitch there. Great to see another female fintech founder here on the stage as well pitching. So ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Wacky. Right, our 8th pitch out of 12 is coming up next, and this one is from Naya, an AI-powered financial operations and reconciliation for fintechs and companies with embedded financial services. Let's hear it for Naya.
Just before we start, quick question. Do we have any Spider-Man fans here? Raise your hand. Great. So, Uncle Ben once told young Peter Parker, with great power comes great responsibility. And what a greater responsibility other than managing the lifeblood of our economies, money. Hi, my name is Sharif Kozman. I'm the CEO and founder of Naya. Let me start off by telling you one of the fintech industry's untold secrets. The majority of companies and fintechs do struggle with financial workflows and processes. Companies waste about 30% of the resources on manual reconciliation and workflows. 75% of the companies do have data discrepancies and issues. And last year alone, the global compliance fines have reached a staggering $54 billion. That's a lot of money. But it's not just a money drain. It's a roadblock to innovation and growth. And while some might think that these issues would affect usually smaller companies or younger startups, take the case of Evolve Bank and Synapse, the leading banking and service provider in the US, empowering companies like Mercury and Utah, which have lost $85 million worth of consumer funds because of a ledger and reconciliation problems. This shows that even the most mature companies and well-established companies are vulnerable to such issues. And there's a dire need for a solution for this problem. In Naya, this is why we've reimagined the state of financial operations for fintechs. We're not just building a tool. We're building the infrastructure that will power the next generation of fintechs. Our platform is designed to automate and optimize financial processes and workflows from treasury operations, reconciliation, and compliance to ensure that fintechs can grow confidently and efficiently, knowing that every transaction is accurate, compliant, and accounted for. In the fintech industry, just as AWS have transformed the IT infrastructure, Naya is also set to transform the way financial services are being built by offering fintechs the tools and the platform in order to build next generation services on top. In a fintech industry that is expected to grow to almost $1.1 trillion by 2032, not taking into account the adjacent markets of gaming economies, insurtech, and proptech, Naya is set to be at the forefront of this evolution, ensuring that fintechs would grow as the industry grows. We have also offered scalable revenue streams from our subscription model to our enterprise licensing. So whether you're an early stage startup or an established enterprise, we make sure that we grow as you grow. Since we launched our pilot program, we've seen incredible results with our pilot customers. With our AI reconciliation and process engine, we've achieved almost 100% in accuracy, reducing almost 80 hours of manual work down to 30 minutes. This is not just about saving cost or time, but also ensuring that companies grow efficiently and securely. Our team is not just about experience, but we thrive for innovation. With a combined experiences of about 70 years across academia, global business development, and building enterprise solutions for Citibank, HSBC, FIFA, and MIT, we do have the vision and the experience to reimagine how fintechs operate. As I said, we're not just building a tool, we're building the future of financial operations. This is why we invite everyone to join us as we are raising our pre-seed round of $1.5 million to reach 10 million in ARR, expand our engineering operations, our business development, and go-to-market strategy, while we set a new standard for global financial source of truth and build the AWS of financial services. Thank you.
Great pitch. What else do we need to know from our judges? What do you think?
How many companies have adopted your product so far? And a connected question, how easy is it to integrate your API into their financial, whatever system they're currently using?
So answering the first question, we're a 6 months old company. But although we're 6 months old, we've already signed multiple LOIs and MOUs, and we have running pilots with various customers, including one of the biggest investment funds in Egypt. And we're already seeing incredible results and going commercial within a couple of months. As for integration complexity, we act as the source of truth for the company. So depending on the stage of maturity, if it's an early stage company, it's probably a greenfield, takes like maybe a week or two to get up and running, depending on the complexity. We've added professional services as an additional revenue stream to ensure if there's any migration that needs to go in place for more established companies.
I'm just having a bit of a challenge understanding the project. I ran a very big fintech, and the problem with errors is that they come from all sorts of strange places, and they're very, very difficult to find. Is this like a daily reconciliation checklist that like helps you identify if there's an error? I'm trying to figure out where it sits.
Yeah, so our motto is aggregate, normalize, and reconcile. So we connect to the data sources. Our engine does the data transformation and normalization, and then reconciles all the data sources through the AI engine that we've built, and then adds it into our ledger that we provide the company with, so it becomes the source of truth for all the other systems. So it becomes the old-time source of truth for the company as well.
But with this, how do you deal with different APIs standards from all these fintechs?
So for sourcing data sources, one of the features of the platform, we have something called the Data Hub. We're building unlimited integrations with the different data sources, from banks to payment gateways to ERPs and data warehouses. And this is one of our moats into establishing that status for the company. And we do normalize the different data structures into our own data structure, ensuring that this is done seamlessly. The fintech that would be working with us only needs to integrate with a single API, but they don't have to do anything else after that.
Sadly, I am going to have to cut you off there. The 2 minutes is up. Put your hands together for Naya. Yet another excellent, excellent pitch there. Right, we're on to our 9th pitch out of 12, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting close to the end. And Receivable is our next pitching startup, which provides digital receipts delivered straight to your banking app. Please welcome to the stage, Receivable.
Good afternoon. I wanted to kick off with a quick icebreaker. It's a general knowledge question for our judges. What's black and white and can stretch from here in Riyadh all the way to London 226 times every year? I've got one in my pocket. It's the paper receipt. And here in Saudi Arabia alone, we produce a staggering 1.35 million kilometers of these things every single year. My name's Chris, and I've spent the last 15 years building and scaling payments businesses all around the world, and notably here in the GCC region. I've seen every single part of the payments journey evolve to become more secure and more convenient for consumers, but these pieces of paper never really seem to go away. I founded Receivable just over a year ago, born out of a frustration that I could pay with my watch, but still get given this piece of paper. And when I filed my business expenses every month, the stack just got bigger and bigger and bigger. Receivable delivers receipts digitally directly into the bank apps that consumers already have on their phones. And as I started to build a team around me, I realized that we had something that was way bigger than just an environmental problem. You see, receipts contain the most valuable data on our spending habits, but every time a receipt gets thrown away, the opportunity to monetize that data is lost. You see, data's siloed in the present payment space. You have transaction data on the one side, and you have retail data on the other. But because there's no data exchange, it's all rendered useless. By delivering digital receipts into the bank app, we're able to bridge the payments gap. Banks know the who, retailers know the SKU, the line-level data that's on these receipts, and we're able to generate insights and revenue drivers for both parties. So how does this work? The beauty is that nothing changes about the way consumers shop. They simply pay with their existing debit or credit card, their Apple Pay, Google Pay, whatever they use. By the time they walk out of the store, our proprietary platform has matched the transaction to the retail data and sent a digital receipt into their existing bank app they already have on their phone. I want to tell you a little bit about my team. Between us, over 60 years experience in banking, payments, and the retail space. David, my CTO, built a platform for a company called Slip in Australia. It's the biggest digital receipts company in the world today. Dominic came from my last startup and built his own POS-tech in the meantime. And Ahmed was our first recruit in Bahrain, which is our base. And he's got experience both in the traditional banking space and in fintechs. We've done a lot with very little since the start of this year. Back in January, we had a scrappy demo. Since then, we've raised 40% of our pre-seed round of 600K. We've signed with our first bank that's now in procurement, but we're looking to launch at the start of next year. They have the biggest market share in Bahrain. We've signed our first major hypermarket group. They also have a point-of-sale system used by a lot of other supermarkets in the region. And we've signed with EasyPay. They do payment terminals that you see all around here that spit out receipts day in, day out, and we're sending them digitally to the bank app. Of course, there's a lot of receipts to go after. We're going after and creating over $1 billion of revenue from receipt data. We already have 75% of the banks in Bahrain, our launch market, covered towards achieving our SOM. Finally, a look at the competition. We're the only innovator in the MENA region that can deliver digital receipts with no change to consumer behavior. The only two companies that are successful in the world doing that, deliver to bank apps like us, our competitors ask you to scan a QR code or give out an email address at the point of sale. With Receivable, we have an opportunity to save millions of trees and monetize billions of lines of receipt data every year. Thank you.
Receivable there. What else do we need to know? What has he missed out, do we think?
How do you guys make money?
Thank you for asking. We charge our partner banks a small fee every month for every active user that generates a digital receipt. In return, we pass back anonymized line-level data. That allows them to build all kinds of embedded finance features dedicated to that customer.
Just give me a better sense of how much you charge per receipt or per customer. So what's a banking customer worth?
So roughly 20 cents on a dollar per month.
Any further
That's
questions?
per customer, not per receipt.
Otherwise, we will invest with you immediately. So you're offering like a digital receipt solution. You're doing like a data enrichment for those receipts information.
Yeah.
And you offer it back to the banks, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, for example, for instance, in Saudi now, it's mandatory to have digital receipts for the majority of retailers.
Yeah.
How do you see that's like a big opportunity for you accessing Saudi market? Yeah. And how are you going to benefit from that?
Yeah. So I think the biggest opportunity right now is unlocking that friction point of the checkout. We see many markets where there's already been legislation to push people towards digital receipts. What we've seen in very few markets is a means of doing it without forcing the consumer to change their behavior at the checkout. By plugging into the bank and making it seamless, the banks have the opportunity here to take advantage of receipts.
In Saudi, I think it's a bit different. The merchant has to offer digital receipts to consumers.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the other critical things in the region, we don't see this in other parts of the world, is the SMS that comes with every card transaction. That's also something that we offer to our banks, is embedding a link in that SMS that then gives you the digital receipt.
Sadly, we are going to have to wrap it up there. 2 minutes is up. A brilliant presentation
Thank you
there
very much.
from Receivable.
Thank
you. Wow, what an incredible 9 pitches we've had so far. Axiology, ladies and gentlemen, working on DLT infrastructure for tokenized securities that looks to make capital markets easier in the EU and here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is up next. It's our 10th pitch of the day. Put your hands together for Axiology.
Hello. Meet Axiology, capital markets infrastructure for tokenized securities. Axiology disrupts fixed income market by making it more accessible for retail investors, utilizing blockchain technology and innovative regulation. What is the problem? Well, the problem is that this market was never designed for retail investors. The average transaction in this market is 3 million euros, at least in Europe. This is the market for big boys. We're trying to fix it. But is there a demand for that? It's a resounding yes. 25% of equity trades right now are being conducted by retail investors globally. And in this country, in less than 2 years, participation in Sukuk market by retail investors went from 1% to 12.5%. Where is that taking place? It is taking place by all the fintechs enabling participation. And we are talking about banking apps, which in Europe have amassed 50 million active users. They love pressing those buttons. That is an enabling factor. And the third enabling factor is innovative regulation by the name of distributed ledger technology and digital security sandbox in European Union and UK. What is enabling us to do? Imagine fully vertically integrated, compatible infrastructure that is cutting across all the layers of capital infrastructure that we know it. Custody, settlement, clearing, exchange, brokerage, all of that on one shared data structure and regulated infrastructure. That is what we get with Axiology. What is our business model? We are not reinventing the wheel. We are going after the fees that are being paid every year in this market. The numbers you see on the screen are the fees paid for depository services, brokerage, bond issuance, auxiliary services for data and secondary market fees only in European Union. This is an enormous market to disrupt. What is our business model in a nutshell? We are going after innovative broker-dealers who are looking for a competitive edge, and we want to facilitate issuers to tap into this new investor base. This is what we are enabling. What is our traction? In February, we raised 2 million euros, and we are already doing technology sales, and we developed a government bond tokenization platform for the Central Bank of Colombia, and we're doing the same for the Central Bank of Georgia. We are one of the 2 platforms in European Union that is doing testing of digital euro and is connected to the European Central Bank. All of this while being licensed by European Securities and Market Authority. We have a stellar team. I myself am coming from a central banking regulatory background. Someone is here from Revolut. I gave the banking license to Revolut. We believe in good governance, and our board is of impeccable credentials coming from global perspective, technological background, knowledge in capital markets infrastructure. We will enable this country to hit its debt development market objectives by hitting 2 objectives of the Capital Market Authority, by making this market more connected and by making it available for trading in other markets. In a nutshell, Axiology can facilitate investments by retail investors into Sukuk bonds issued in this market by making it more accessible and more liquid. Thank you very much.
A very clear and concise pitch there. Very well done indeed. Over to our judges.
So you're solving for democratization of corporate bonds for retail investors with access and smaller ticket sizes?
That is correct. So it's not only democratization, it's making the infrastructure lighter and utilizing technology to reduce the main risk in capital market. The main risk in capital market is the settlement risk, which we are trying to make sure it doesn't happen, so that the movement of assets and the movement of money is now fully synchronized. Imagine all of those assets living on one infrastructure in tokenized form. So then you have a full controllability of a movement of securities on the registry and the movement of money. Now this is happening on separate infrastructures: custodians, banking system, exchange. If you aggregate everything, you get the synergies and you get cheaper market. And you also get the transparency, which is very important in trade execution.
Where are you in your revenue trajectory?
Our revenue trajectory is flying to the moon. But so far, we received 100,000 in revenue in less than 6 months.
Who are you looking for to partner with in local market to operate this model?
Our best partners would be someone who is willing to participate in this market from a retail perspective, and also governmental institutions who would like to issue so-called labeled instruments, be it sukuk bonds, be it green bonds, and make them available for global participants.
So I want to understand, to whom are you solving the problem? To regulators, to financial institutes? Because it seems, maybe I'm lost, I don't know.
We are solving the problem for an average individual here. There are 15 trillion of euros sitting in deposit accounts in European Union. If we just can reallocate at least a portion of that to either government bonds or corporate bonds or Sharia-compliant instruments, this is a huge improvement.
Sadly, we are going to have to wrap it up there. Thank you
very
so
much.
Thanks to our judges. Thank you so much to Axiology. Yet another very competitive pitch there. Right, ladies and gentlemen, our next startup is Enlet, which delivers innovative financial solutions with prepaid cards for SMEs and their employees in US dollars and Saudi riyals. Let's welcome them to the stage, Enlet.
Hi everyone, my name is Yara Ghoth, co-founder at Enlet. In Saudi Arabia, businesses spend over $40 billion in credit card expense every single year.
Yeah, questions?
Behind this huge number is a huge problem. Managing these expenses is nearly impossible, since a lot of employees are using their personal cards to pay for these expenses, making it impossible and a nightmare for financing and accounting team to reconcile and audit these expenses. And worst of all, a lot of employees get their bank accounts frozen. This is a struggle of 1.2 million SMEs in Saudi. Currently, the landscape doesn't really offer them the tools that they need. What we're doing is more than just cards. We are providing multiple cards with multiple currencies for every company. We are making the reconciliation process very simple. We're bringing clarity on every transaction and transparency on fees, and we're allowing employees to upload their receipts and invoices as well. We're offering budget control to manage all the different budgets for every department and every employee, including remote employees. Without Enlet, the average cost of reports is around 140 riyals, and usually there's around 50 reports a month, making it around 7,000 riyals every single month. With Enlet, we were able to reduce it down to only 10 riyals. Since we launched last year, we were able to process over 60,000 transactions from our 400 SMEs, gathering around 45 million riyal in transaction volume, saving them 32.7 million riyals. We've currently doubled our GTV in the first 6 months. The more clients spend, the more we win. Currently, our revenue model is interchange fees, FX fees, and an annual subscription on cards. This is the team behind it. We have a lot of experience in startups, tech, and finance. What we want to do is make the whole financial mess with SMEs simple, automated, and we want to clean it all up, from planning to audited statements. And how are we going to do this? We have a huge roadmap with many different products to really provide all SMEs the full financial services that they need to manage all of their expenses. Currently, we're in our seed round. We've raised 2 million from the 1.3. Yeah, thank you so much for your time.
So how much revenue have you made per year on interchange fees and everything else?
So it's around 2% of that number.
But what is that in dollars?
In dollars, I'm not sure.
Okay. And
I have to do the math on that.
Time is of the essence. Any other further questions?
And how many other this is the Brex business model. How many other competitors are there, and how big are they in the region?
So we're the first in the market in Saudi. We have 2 other competitors that recently entered the market as well. In like UAE, so it's already been there for the past few years. There's around like 10 competitors just focusing on UAE. But for Saudi, we were the first, and there's only 2 other competitors.
Any other further questions? Time is ticking away.
These cards are branded in your name, or are these white labels?
So it's it's a co-branded card. Yes. So we have our logo and the bank that we work with as well, and MasterCard.
Got it. So you've partnered with how many banks for these co-branded cards?
Currently, we have 2. We have 1 regional partner and 1 local one.
Got it.
We might have time for one more question, unless the judges have everything they need to know.
Any plans for data enrichment to be provided for the clients?
Yes, so we already are working on that. We have a partner, so we are already doing that as well. Yep.
20 seconds to go. I think our judges have all they need to know. Let's wrap it up there. Well, very well done indeed to N. Boudlads. That was our penultimate pitch, ladies and gentlemen, as we have now come to our final pitch of the entire competition, ladies and gentlemen. And Valify is up next, an AI-driven tech company securing the digital journey between customers and businesses across the MENA region and the Arab world. Please join me in welcoming our final pitch of the day, Valify.
Hello, everyone. Hi, my name is Ibrahim, co-founder at Valify. Basically, what we are is a digital identity gateway, but built for the Arab world. What do? We work on solving 3 different problems at the same time. First, we have regulators, people who are trying to accelerate financial inclusion and to bring people into the financial system, but at the same time have all their companies that they govern be compliant and follow the rules. Second, we have service providers, people like my amazing fellow pitchers, and perhaps companies that you've invested in. These are the businesses that want to access new customers, but face challenges of manual processes, difficult cost of acquisition, time and effort wasted. And then finally, you have the people like us, people who want to receive services anywhere, but still have to fill in a lot of paperwork, undergo a lot of manual processes, even sometimes leave their homes to sign some papers. So I don't know about you guys, but it took me about an hour to get here. If it was a branch, you'd spend another 10 minutes looking for parking, you sit in the queue, you wait for your turn, go sit with the agent, do your entire process, you've wasted a couple of hours. It's not just us, it's 500 million other people across GCC, North Africa, and the Arab world who spend a lot of time and effort that costs some money to be able to access digital and financial services. How we solve this is through a suite of services. We help any business verify not only other individuals, but other businesses that they serve. We do that through eKYC, which is a fully digital onboarding with document verification, biometric verification. We do AML and sanction screening. We do eKYB, which is business-to-business onboarding, all in minutes, fully digitized without human intervention. And we've been operating in Egypt for the last 5 years. We're licensed there by the Financial Regulatory Authority. We were the first company and only company to go live in the central bank's first sandbox program. And we're linked to the government database to be able to fully verify any identification documents. What we've done so far in these last 5 years is we've actually helped 5 million individuals get access to financial services. Over the last 4 years, our revenue has hit 100% CAGR, meaning that we're doubling every year. And we're on track to do so again in 2024 and hit our target of 1 million in ARR. And we've actually done so while still building a profitable business with 90% margins and double-digit net profit margins. We serve banks, fintechs, lenders, consumer finance companies, and as well just regular e-commerce platforms. We've raised 1.3 million in venture funding from retail and institutional investors. So local investors like A15 and Tawasul, as well as regional investors like 54 Collective and 4DX Ventures. Our roadmap started off with us working with the central bank to launch our MVP. And then we spent that time later on expanding the product, launching into the market, acquiring customers. Phase 3 was developing the regulatory landscape with the regulators. Phase 4 was finally getting the licenses, reaching profitability as a business. And then we're coming into phase 5, which is part of our original vision. We want to connect the Arab world. So you can be sitting here in Saudi Arabia in Riyadh and wanting to access a lending service in Morocco. Or you could be in Egypt and apply for a financial service offered in the UAE. All seamless, real-time, and connected. And that's our plan through expansion to KSA, UAE, and Morocco. Those are our first few markets that we want to replicate basically our success story in Egypt and connect the Arab world together through one unified financial and digital identity. The team is myself, my co-founder Omar. He does the chemistry, I do the business. And then we're also backed by a very strong group with experience in telcos, trade, fintechs, payments, and so on. And we're very lucky to have them. Thank you, everyone.
So, quick question. So now you're in Egypt. However, you have ambition to scale and go to different jurisdictions. And you're mindful of the different infrastructure that these countries have. So how are you going to able to penetrate these countries as well? Because, you know, different countries, different infrastructure.
Definitely. So part of our unique playbook that separates us from the global giants like Jumio and Onfido and so on is two main things. First of all, the localization and Arabic language solutions that we offer. So that gives us flexibility to work with local Arab countries. And second of all, our flexible technology, meaning that we can deploy locally, we can connect to local databases, which is something that creates a huge barrier to entry with other global giants trying to come in. So basically what we do here is build the regulatory relationships, we build the local infrastructure, and offer a localized solution. That playbook has thankfully worked very well for us in Egypt, which is what we believe is probably the most difficult country in the region. And we hope to just take that model and apply it abroad.
Just following up on Nizar's question, usually you would try to scale in the same company, grow in the same country, excuse me, then you would scale outside. How long have you guys been operating in Egypt? Was it 2 years?
Yeah, 4 years operating.
4 years.
Launch. Exactly.
What did you gain out of the market? What did you capture till today?
Yeah, so basically we have around 50 million Egyptians eligible to receive financial service. Over the last 4 years, we served only 10%, so 5 of them. There's still a ton of growth potential, but we do want to enrich our offering, not just, as I said, my original vision is not for just to only be in Egypt, but to connect the Arab world together through an identity, a single identity. So we want to work in parallel. There's still so much to capture in Egypt, but yet, as part of our biggest vision is to connect them not only inside the services in Egypt, but across GCC and North Africa. So we're working in parallel on both streams.
Thank you.
Sadly, we have run out of time. That was our final pitch, and absolutely brilliantly done. Let's hear it for Valify. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, 12 prime examples of true fintech innovation there. We cannot thank them enough. You're incredibly brave coming up here, especially in front of our elite panel of judges. Let's hear it one more time for our 12 pitches. You very much deserve to be here this afternoon, so very, very well done indeed. A huge thank you once again to our judges, Neza Al-Haidar, Dr. Mazin Al-Zaidi, Michelle Romano, Imad Kashgari, and Apurva Sharma. Let's hear it for our judges. Well, they are now going to deliberate, of course. They've got a lot to think about, ladies and gentlemen. So they are going to step off the stage, I believe. They're going to deliberate just backstage in our green room, and we are going to recap some of the excitement that took place in the semi-finals yesterday. But before we do, as they walk off the stage, please give them a huge round of applause for their time, their effort. Very, very much appreciated. Very busy people, but they've made time for us today to listen to these innovative pitches. Thank you so much. Thank you. And some very, very brilliant questions as well. A tough crowd. Right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at what happened yesterday in the semi-finals on the FinTech Fusion stage. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it was a very exciting day indeed yesterday. We had a different set of judges, in fact, yesterday. And of course, we had the 5 here as well. A total, a quick reminder, of over 300 startups, a rigorous vetting process, and a challenging semi-final where 24 of our top startups pitched to 4 very esteemed judges there. And it all led up to today here at the Executive Summit stage, where, of course, we've just watched 12 battle it out here on stage. And in just another 5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to announce our winners. So I thought I'd very much recap the awards and what is at stake here. We have the Sprint Start Award for $50,000 US, showcasing the startup that has demonstrated rapid growth and impressive market penetration. The FinTech for Good Award for $50,000 US, recognizing the startup that demonstrates exceptional commitment to addressing social challenges through an innovative FinTech solution. The Innovation to Watch is our 3rd award, also for $50,000 US, highlighting the startup at the forefront of introducing a truly unique and disruptive solution. And our last and final award, which is for $100,000 US, is the largest award of our prize pool, which recognizes the startup that showcases the strongest, most scalable business model with a clear growth trajectory. So much is at stake, ladies and gentlemen. However, in the meantime, to present these awards and to share his insights, we are absolutely delighted and honored to have with us here today His Excellency Yazid Al Nahyan, the chairman of FinTech Saudi.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's really, really exciting to see. I mean, I'm saddened to be the closing act, honestly. I wish this event doesn't end. It's been an exciting 4 days, 5 days, I don't know. We've been swapped in this momentum and its excitement for the last week. And I'm very proud to see the caliber of the startups we've just seen. Over the last 4 days, we've seen a number of started in VentureScape Day on, when was it? Monday? Monday. We had more than 400 startups, government entities, investors coming in, having these discussions, collaborative approach, connecting, building those relationships. But I just forgot. Did I introduce myself? No? I'm Yazid Al Nahyan. I'm the chairman of FinTech Saudi. There is another guy who works at the central bank who shares my name. That guy is an imposter, So these relationships were fostered over the past 4 days. We've seen being connected across different areas, different meetings, more than 500 meetings, mentorship, and valuable connections were made. And we look forward to hearing more about whatever deals that are going to be closed and resulted from this event. However, we need to congratulate the 12 finalists and all of the people who participated in this fantastic competition. I'm very proud to see the diversity of ideas, countries, gender, and industries, all of it go into improving the efficiency and delivering innovative new solutions to the financial sector. So it is, with the support of Tahaluf, Fintech Saudi, and the organizers, they've set up those pods near the VIP areas, near the investors areas. They made it available everywhere, so you can connect with them, you can meet with all of the investors, and build the opportunities, exchange experiences. And one of the most heartwarming thing for me is that when the entrepreneurs and those startups coming in and say, well, we've learned so much from each other. We're collaborating. We're not competitors. We're more than, like, we're exchanging ideas on how can we grow these industries together? How can we build the sector together? And we came in this event under the slogan of reimagining financial services. And with reimagining financial services, startup is at the heart of it. So with this, and I'm awaiting for the panel's decision, I honestly have no idea who they're going to choose. And I'm as excited as yourselves in learning the name of the winner. So how long do I have to wait? So 5 minutes? So do I need to talk to I need to ramble for 5 minutes? Any questions? Anything? No, honestly, as no pressures on the judges. As they deliberate, I just want to reiterate my appreciation for everyone who participated in this event, all the sponsors, the fintechs, the investors, the government officials, international, local, everyone. You made this successful. And to be honest, the quality of the companies and the quality of the participants is the main reason for the success of this event. And the momentum is great. Maybe earlier, you've seen the statistics on the number of attendees. And of course, that was as of midday. I'm yet to see the numbers as of end of day. But as opposed to other events where by the third day, everyone is exhausted and no one is here and like the room is half empty. And what we've seen is we started, and the number of attendees has been growing on a daily basis. And this is unusual in these kind of events. And I've been exhausted and sleep deprived for the last 2 weeks at least. But my colleagues in Tahaluf and Sama and Fintech Saudi, CMA, and everyone share the same feeling of the satisfaction and the excitement that we've seen the fintechs, the entrepreneurs, and also the admiration by all of the visitors, the investors, are great. And I'll tell you, I mean, we told you that we've been saying that this is the first edition for a while now, but one small secret, that we pulled this in less than 4 months. So thank you to Tahaluf. They're the experts. They're the experts in this. Thank you, Fintech Saudi, as well. I'm not going to thank the regulators. I'm not going to thank them. Enough thanking the regulators. Those two entities pulled this thing together with the support of fantastic, energetic team who's sitting in front of me. I'm not going to say the names, but you know yourselves. And Your Excellency, your presence means a lot to us, and the closing remarks and your participation and interaction with the fintechs, I think, reflected positively on the ecosystem and gave the encouragement, Your Excellency, and everyone who interacted with them. The most common thing that I've been hearing is that the quality of the people, like the quality of the interactions, the productive discussions that they had, that's great. And the announcement stage were full. We're trying to squeeze in more announcements. And honest to God, we didn't hold any announcement until the event. They came organically So we're lucky to have that. So how many announcements did we make? How many announcements did we make? Do we know? Come? More than 30 announcements and genuine transactions and partnerships. No MOUs, all actual deals and actual partnerships. And more to come. And I don't want to spoil, and I don't want to build expectations for next year, but this is only the pilot. So, are we done?
Thank you so much. What a great honor to have you here.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I thought I'd take this time, as I'm sharing the stage with you now, just to maybe ask you a few questions, maybe about your highlights. What for you has been the highlight over the last 3 days for 24 FinTech? I mean, it's quite a difficult question because so much has been going on. What for you have been maybe a few highlights?
Okay, so the vibes. Like, everyone is excited, everyone is happy, and everyone is smiling, and all of the interactions are positive, and no issues, no problems, and even everything was smooth. So you can feel the momentum, you can feel the excitement, you can feel the vibes, and you can feel that people who are outside, like I've been hearing everyone talking about it, and a lot of people got FOMO, and so they decided to show up. So that's fantastic, and also the quality of the attendees, the investors, the companies participating is something to be proud of. Whether they're Saudis, non-Saudis, all top-notch, high quality. What about you?
It's been incredible. I've been manning the FinTech Fusion stage. So we've had a lot of investors and VCs and, just the conversations around that and the advice as well. The advice here today and over the last 3 days has been incredible because you're not going to get advice anywhere else.
Exactly.
Up close and personal, and firsthand. And also as speakers come off the stage, this is people, it's people's chance to just speak to them directly, which you don't normally get. So making connections like that, I think, has been really important. What do you think about next year? Are you thinking about next year already? What do you...
we have a lot to think about for next year. And so we were talking with my colleagues at Tahaluf, and it's like, maybe we'll take a few days off, and then we'll start planning for the next one.
I think you deserve that,
Yeah.
of course.
I'll sleep throughout the weekend, probably. But I need to do some work as well.
Yeah, I'm sure you need to rest. How long has this been in progress for then? How long has it taken to get this whole thing
Surprisingly,
together?
I was just saying, it took us less than 4 months to pull this off.
Wow.
And this is the first edition.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yes, it's a miracle.
And amazing to see an international crowd here as well, isn't
Yes,
it?
and it's an international representation, and we've seen more and more internationals saying, we want to sign up for the next one, and that's great. But also, what I think is heartwarming when I see that all Saudi banks are participating, and it goes against the conventional wisdom that banks hate fintechs or banks believe fintechs are threats. No, they know that they need to scale up, and those fintechs and those startups are pushing the banks to innovate, as opposed to the other way around.
Completely.
So that's great.
And the collaboration aspect as well, making connections and people shouldn't be scared to disrupt. We had an incredible presentation about courage yesterday. It was absolutely brilliant, and the gentleman basically, ciphered down what courage is, which is, detriment to entrepreneurs and their messaging, because a lot of, entrepreneurship journeys are very bumpy. People do get scared, so it's trying to fight, the fear and sort of ride the waves of emotion, because you've got a lot of founders and SMEs here, so. They're going to get beaten down. Yes. It is a tough road, you know. What's your advice, actually, to FinTech founders that are trying to get into this, but, they're having a hard time?
So listen, when it comes to Saudi, I mean, you've seen all the regulators are here. You've seen the investors, you've seen the openness, and everyone is welcoming, and you should benefit from all of the available resources. FinTech Saudi being an important resource, but also access to regulators here, access to international expertise, access to venture capitalists who have seen it all, and you just listen, learn, think, try to address. And also, for us, we don't innovate for the sake of innovation. Typically, innovation is used to solve actual problems, and you just try to understand what can you improve, what are we solving for, right? And don't be afraid to making mistakes. We all make mistakes. If you don't want to make a mistake, you stay home, right? And I always say that. And You will make mistakes. You will fall down, but you need to know how to get up, like dust off, and just march into the next big thing.
Stay positive,
Yep.
exactly. Well, Your Excellency, we are going to leave the stage because we have a quick video we're going to share, and then we are going to be announcing our 4 award winners.
I'm excited.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to announce our winners. As I mentioned, we have the Sprint Start Award for $50,000 US, the Fintech for Good Award, also $50,000, the Innovation to Watch, and our last and final 24 Fintech Award for $100,000 US. To help me hand out these awards, please give a very warm welcome back to the stage His Excellency Yazid Al Nabjan, the Chairman of Fintech Saudi. Thank you so much. And please welcome to the stage also Michael Champion, the CEO of Tahaluf. Thank you so much. Wonderful to have you both here on the stage at this grand finale. The judges have deliberated, ladies and gentlemen. We have the winners. Apparently they are there in the corner on those cards. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to be bringing these on the stage very soon.
Yes, apparently it took them time. The quality was too high. They had a lot of disagreements.
A lot of time to deliberate.
Yes.
Oh, do we need to put your microphone on, I think? Yes, so they needed a lot of time to deliberate. We do apologize for the pause, but we needed to make sure that we got all of this right, ladies and gentlemen. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Spirit Start Award for $50,000 US goes to, I'm hoping we have it
Drum
here
rolls.
on the back screen. Yes, a drum roll. We need a drum roll, don't we? Where is our drum roll? The Sprint Start Award for $50,000 US goes to, it'll be coming up on the back screen right now. And the winner is Axiology! Award, showcasing the startup that has demonstrated rapid growth and impressive market penetration. Very well done indeed. Do we think he deserved it? Very well deserved indeed, recognizing the startup that has demonstrated exceptional commitment to addressing social challenges there. Right, ladies and gentlemen, the Innovation to Watch Award goes to... And our winner is Abwab AI. Woo! Taking home $50,000 for the Innovation to Watch Award. Right, ladies and gentlemen, our last and final 24 FinTech Award for $100,000. The largest award of our prize pool recognizes the startup that showcases the strongest and most scalable business model with a clear growth trajectory. The 24 FinTech Award goes to Ajar. Because we would like to get a final group photograph with all of our winners. Please do come on back, and we're going to get a group photo. He's too excited. He's got the $100,000. Well done. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely brilliant. Please do come on up. We're going to get a final group photograph with all of our winners for the Sprint Start, FinTech for Good, Innovation to Watch, and the final 24 FinTech Awards. Wow, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very well deserved indeed. Thank you so much to our other founders as well. Thank you to Michael. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. What a great honor to have you here and to hand those out. We really do appreciate it. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap for the FinTech Forge Competition 2024. We're going to hopefully be seeing you next year with a lot more prizes. So thank you so much. My name is Laura Buckwell, and it's been such a great pleasure to be your host today. Thank you so much.